In this video, we are going to talk about how to capture your marketplace commission invoices within eVanik and then further sync that with Tally. Let's first look at how your commission invoice looks like. This is a commission invoice which you would normally get from your marketplace. Your commission invoice comes on a monthly basis and it has three components. The first component is the invoice details, which includes your invoice number, the invoice date, and the summary of all your expenses for that particular month, as you can see in this spreadsheet. The commission invoice needs to be entered into eVanik One World Suite as is. We will show you how to import your commission invoice into your eVanik One World Suite. Open your eVanik panel, click on Accounting and Finance, and click on Transactions. In your Transactions page, click on the button Marketplace Invoice. Now click on Add New. You will need to import all the fields as you see in the PDF that you have received from the marketplace. Let's take this example. The first column, you will need to enter the invoice number. Go to your commission invoice, copy the invoice number and paste it on the invoice number field. The original invoice number can remain the same as the invoice number. Now enter the invoice date. The invoice date is 30th November 2020 in this case. Click on the invoice date column and you will have a calendar pop-up. Select the date. Invoice type essentially means whether it's a local invoice, which means that the invoice has been billed in the same state as your location. In case it's not local, you have to treat it as an IGST invoice. The way to identify whether it's local or IGST is look into your invoice summary details. As you can see, IGST is mentioned. Therefore, select IGST. Now enter the total invoice amount. So the total invoice amount is in the total column, which is mentioned here. Copy and paste it here. GST number of the marketplace needs to be inputted in the GST column. Copy the GST number of Amazon in this case and paste it in the GST box. Select for which marketplace channel this particular invoice is. In this case, we will select the MFN amount. The next column will have the ledger names wherein you will need to input all the expense details which are mentioned on your invoice. Let's input them one by one. The first field is easy ship weight handling fees. Copy this, add here. Now you have to enter the amount. You can input excluding or including. So we are going to input the excluding tax amount here. Therefore, the excluding tax amount here is 126705, as you can see it in this case. Now to add another column, click on this icon and it will open up a new column. Similarly, keep copying the rest of the expense details and pasting it in the relevant columns. Ensure that you are also entering the decimal points. You will also notice that the including GST amount gets calculated automatically. Now we have entered all the values. Click on Save. Now, as you can see, the invoice that we've entered now appears on top. The next step is to integrate your commission invoice with Tally. Click on Integrations and click on Tally ERP9. We've already imported the sales transactions in a demo company in Tally for the same account so that we can show you the effect of entering this commission invoice into your Tally. Now select the date. So in this case, the invoice, if you remember, was for 30th November 2020. We will select the same period. So we can straight away select the start date as 30th November and use the same date as the end date. So for start and end, we are going to take the same dates. Now select the channel for which you need to import. In the data type, click on Import Journal and click on Submit. Errors that will be getting prompted are essentially for you to define those ledger names into your Tally. So in this case, you can see that this particular ledger account has not been defined in Tally. Copy this and create a new ledger in Tally. This ledger will be a sundry creditor and the state from which this has come is Karnataka in this case. You will need to enter the GST number of your sundry creditor once more. Copy the GST number and paste it into your Tally. Save the ledger. Again, go back to Tally integration and submit the journal integration. We will need to create all of these expense payables in your Tally. Easy ship weight handling fees payable will be defined under a ledger which gets automatically created called marketplace payables. and this is coming under current liabilities. We will have to keep creating this for the same expenses that we have entered in the commission invoice. Amazon Trading Company deductions is another ledger which needs to be created to knock off your sales and return vouchers at an order level. And this will be created under current liabilities. We will also need to create a new voucher type which is called purchase eVanik. A commission invoice essentially is treated as a purchase voucher, the reason being that you will need to claim an input credit against the same. Create a new purchase voucher called purchase eVanik and select the voucher type as purchase. Save. We will also need to create the expense heads under indirect expenses, expense fees. All of these will go under indirect expenses and will show in your profit and loss statement. These ledgers need to be created just one time, as in the next ledger or the next invoice that you input, you will not have to create them because they're already created into your tally. Now we've created the expense ledgers. Let's click on submit again to create a few more ledgers. IGST will need to be created under duties and taxes as GST list, integrated tax, and percentage of calculation can be left as blank or 0%. Now there is no error. Let's see what has happened in your tally. Let's see transactions have got integrated into your tally. Open your tally. You will notice that under purchase eVanik voucher type, there is a new voucher which has got created. Let's see what this voucher looks like. You will find that this voucher has got created the same way as it was in your commission invoice. Let me open both of them together. Now you see your commission invoice values and the values that have come on tally, which will be exactly the same for all of these line items. Easy ship weight handling fees, your shipping fees, fixed closing fees, listing fees, and order cancellation fees. At the same time, there are journal vouchers which also get created into your tally. The objective of journal vouchers is to offset the commissions against each and every order and return ID which have been posted into your tally ERP9. You will find that against the commission invoice, all your order IDs have been offsetted. You will find a new reference in case the order ID has not been synced as your sales voucher in your tally. In case it has already been synced, it will display against reference. The expense heads have been alternated as an expense payable head for the purpose of adjusting your deductions account so that you get the correct entries in your profit and loss and your balance sheets. Let's look at how your P&L and balance sheets will look like. The expenses have been imported correctly in your P&L under the expense heads. When you look at your balance sheet, your current liabilities account is showing in the liabilities section. When you look at an order-wise reconciliation, wherever the amount has got offsetted, that commission entry will also be showing. For instance, in this case, this commission amount is coming from the overall commission deducted invoice. That's it.